This is Ken Smith reminding you it happened today, June 4th. But the year was 1070, and Roquefort cheese, blue cheese, was created for the first time in a cave in Roquefort, France. It was on this day, 1876, that the first transcontinental express train arrives in San Francisco from New York City. A record 83 hours, 39 minutes. 1896, Henry Ford drives his first Ford through the streets of Detroit. 1917, on this day, American men begin registering for the draft of World War I. It was on this day, 1984, from the 1960 champion Arnold Palmer, for the first time fails to qualify for the U.S. Open Golf Championship. That was the first time in 32 years that he would not play. It was on this day, 1984, DNA is successfully cloned from an extinct animal. It was on this day, 1990, that Dr. Jack Kevorkian assists an Oregon woman to commit suicide, beginning a national debate over the right to die. It was on this day, 2019, that professional gambler James Holzhauer 32-game winning streak ends on Jeopardy, just short of Ken Jennings' record $2.52 million earnings. But that was June the 4th in the past. This is June the 4th, 2020. And in light of the rioting and lockdowns, Google parent Alphabet is postponing its scheduled unveiling of the Android 11 model operating system because of the continued rioting. All Los Angeles area coronavirus testing centers have been closed. The University of Michigan is beginning the process to bring students back on campus this fall. With over 100,000 total deaths in the United States, reported by the Johns Hopkins University, the federal count shows now that 25,000 of those virus deaths were in nursing homes. 1 in 4 were isolated in nursing homes. Those nursing homes became hotspots, though the figure doesn't include reporting from some states prior to May. The numbers may be way off. Federal regulators now believe by as much as 54%, meaning that in the end, as many as 50,000 may have died in nursing homes, or 1 out of 2 deaths of the coronavirus were people alone in a nursing home. After a week of mushrooming protests, looting, violent clashes with police, the younger brother of George Floyd arrived this week in Minneapolis at the intersection where his brother's life was taken just a week ago. Terrence Floyd cried and knelt in prayer He offered the crowd around him hopes, forgiveness, hopes for peaceful protests, and additional arrests in connection with his brother's death. It was the first time that any family member had come to the spot where his brother died. And when Terrence Floyd arrived, he was so emotional that two unidentified men stood by either side of him just to hold him up and keep him from falling. George Floyd was a member of a deeply Christian, religious Texas family. And so his brother knelt and wept and prayed. And so he prayed among the flowers and the candles and the balloons and the signs of protest. And we all remember George Floyd. This is Ken Smith, reminding you it happened today, June 4th, 2020.